Have you ever noticed how Italian women over 50 always seem to glow, even in the simplest outfits? I used to think it was just their lifestyle, until I realized it's their color plate. I'm walking you through the exact color strategies Italian women use to look vibrant, chic, and expensive, without chasing trends or buying more clothes. This comes from years of observing women in Milan and Rome, and even studying vintage Italian fashion guides that most people overlook. But there's one color they avoid that might surprise you. And I'll show you why, near the end. Stay with me, because that's where the real transformation happens. Let's start with one of the most striking yet wearable colors Italian women over 50 reach for: deep burgundy. This isn't your typical cherry red or flashy crimson. I'm talking about that rich, wine-soaked tone, almost like a fine glass of Barolo. There's something so inherently luxurious about burgundy. It's bold, but not loud, warm, but not overpowering. Italian women know how to use it to command attention without saying a word. And here's what makes it so brilliant. It plays well with other refined tones, like camel, olive, charcoal, and even navy. Now, if you've been feeling like your wardrobe's gotten a little too beige or predictable, burgundy might just be your breakthrough color. I've seen women in Milan and Florence use it in small but intentional ways: a structured handbag, a pair of patent flats, or even a long wool coat that drapes like a dream. One woman I spotted on the Spanish steps wore a burgundy cashmere turtleneck with ivory trousers and tortoiseshell sunglasses. Simple, but unforgettable. That's the key. Let the color speak for itself. No extra frills needed. What I love most about burgundy is that it works year-round. In cooler months, you can lean into velvets, knits, and wools. In warmer months, it's stunning in silk, lightweight cotton, or linen. And because it's deeper than a classic red, it looks elegant on mature skin without being too bright or reflective. If you're new to the shade, start with accessories. A leather bag, a belt, or even a berry-toned lipstick can introduce burgundy into your palette without commitment. From there, work your way up to pieces like coats, wide leg pants, or even a classic wrap dress. It's one of those colors that just feels expensive, even when it isn't. Now let's shift gears a bit and talk about the Italian woman's version of a neutral. It's not the cold grays or flat beiges we're used to seeing on store racks in the US. Instead, it's warm taupe. Imagine the color of cappuccino foam or worn-in stone walls in Tuscany. It's creamy, calming, and flattering, especially on mature skin. Italian women love this shade because it doesn't compete, it supports. It acts like a canvas, letting your features shine while keeping your outfit grounded and intentional. What's interesting is that taupe isn't flashy, but it always looks polished when styled the right way. I saw a woman in Rome wearing a taupe linen blouse tucked into high-waisted cream trousers, with a thin leather belt and low block heels. That's it. No bold prints, no sparkle, just tone and texture. And it looked rich. The color worked with her skin, not against it. That's what we want at this stage. Colors that support our natural beauty instead of draining it. When I wear taupe, I always add a bit of warmth, maybe a gold necklace or bronze-toned sunglasses, just to add that Mediterranean sun-kissed glow. Here's how you can use taupe in your own wardrobe. Start with foundational pieces: a great pair of trousers, a draped blouse, a cashmere cardigan, or a sleek pair of flats. These are the kinds of items that don't scream for attention, but completely change how you feel in them. The key is in the texture and shape. Italian women love a beautiful fabric with movement and softness. So skip the stiff cuts and synthetic blends and lean into linen, brushed cotton, or lightweight knits in taupe shades. I've actually added links to some beautiful taupe pieces in the description box below. These are items I've either worn myself or handpicked because they match the exact vibe we're talking about: quiet luxury with zero effort. Now, if there's one color that captures the earthy, grounded elegance of Italian style, especially among women over 50, it's olive green. I call it nature's elegant edge. It's rich, calming, and incredibly wearable, especially when you're looking to step away from the usual blacks and navies. When I was in Florence last year, I kept noticing how often this color showed up on trench coats, tailored trousers, even suede ankle boots. But it wasn't overdone. Italian women know how to wear olive as a neutral, almost like a soft backdrop that makes everything else feel more considered. What makes olive green so special for us, particularly over 50, is how flattering it is on mature skin. It's deep, but not dark. Warm, but not loud. Whether you have silver hair, salt and pepper, or deeper brunette tones, olive complements your natural coloring without pulling attention away. Italian women often pair it with camel, ivory, or gold, colors that create contrast without being harsh. One older woman I saw at an outdoor cafe wore an olive button-down with high-waisted cream pants, gold hoop earrings, and espadrilles. She looked like a walking postcard, but nothing about her outfit was trendy or loud. If you're new to olive green, start with one anchor piece, maybe a soft utility jacket or wide-leg linen pants. These pieces look amazing layered with off-white or tan tops, and they transition well between seasons. Olive is particularly stunning in fabrics like brushed cotton, twill, or raw silk because they highlight the color's natural depth. And here's a little tip. Don't overstyle it. Let olive be the understated star. Toss on a scarf, some simple gold jewelry, and you're done. Now, from grounded elegance, let's move to a color that's more spirited, but still unmistakably chic: Mediterranean blue. Think of that mid-toned, saturated blue you see on the rooftops in Positano, or the shutters in Capri. It's not navy, and it's definitely not baby blue. It sits somewhere in the middle, bold, sun-drenched, and completely wearable when you know how to balance it. Italian women over 50 love this shade as their pop of energy. It's playful, but still grown up. It makes a statement, but never feels like it's trying too hard. What I find fascinating is how intentional this color feels. You'll rarely see it in full outfits. Instead, you might notice it as a silk blouse under a camel blazer, or a midi skirt paired with a neutral sweater. One woman I met outside the Duomo in Milan wore Mediterranean blue slingbacks with a taupe dress and a vintage watch. It was the shoes that caught my eye, not because they were loud, but because they were so perfectly unexpected. That's what this color does. It adds a little spark without disrupting the flow of an outfit. If you're curious about trying it, I'd say begin with a top or an accessory, like a scarf or handbag. Mediterranean blue looks especially beautiful next to silver hair or blue or green eyes because it pulls those features forward. Try pairing it with warm taupe, ivory, or even olive green for a bit of contrast. This color has an uplifting effect, and honestly, it's a great alternative to reaching for a bright red or fuchsia when you want to feel seen. Now, I'd love to hear from you. Do you wear blue? And if so, which shade feels most flattering on you? Are you more of a navy woman? Or have you played around with brighter tones like this Mediterranean blue? Let me know in the comments below. I read everything you share, and I love hearing about how you're experimenting with color, especially if you've felt stuck in the same palette for years. Here's a color I didn't expect to fall in love with until I saw how Italian women wear it: golden mustard. It's rich, earthy, and has this burnt sunshine quality that feels very old-world elegance meets modern attitude. This shade walks a fine line. It's not quite yellow, not quite ochre, but has just enough golden undertone to feel grounded and sophisticated. What makes it work for women over 50 is that it brings warmth to the face without being overpowering. It's like an instant glow without makeup. I remember seeing a woman in Bologna wearing a golden mustard knit top under a khaki trench with tortoiseshell glasses. Her hair was silver, pulled back in a low bun, and the mustard tone gave her this gorgeous energy. That's what Italians do best. They find that one punchy color that still feels rooted in nature. They wear it with purpose. You'll often see this color in textured fabrics too: cashmere, linen, even leather. It absorbs light rather than reflecting it, which is key when we're dressing more mature skin. The best way to pull this off is to treat mustard like an anchor, not an accent. Try it in a midi skirt with a chocolate brown top, or as a silky blouse under a cream blazer. You can also play with this shade in scarves, suede shoes, or a structured bag if you're not ready to wear it top to bottom. And if you have green or hazel eyes, this shade will light them up in the best way. Now, speaking of surprises, sometimes the smartest thing in fashion isn't just what you wear, but also what you don't. There's one color Italian women, especially those over 50, tend to avoid. And it might be the one you reach for the most. Stay with me, because this next one might have you rethinking a few closet staples. All right, here it is. Cool white, yes, that stark, icy, blue-based white is the one color many Italian women over 50 intentionally steer clear of. Surprised? I was too at first. You'd think crisp white would be a staple, right? But what I noticed walking around Rome and Milan is that their white is rarely a true cool white. It's always softened, creamy, ivory, even ecru. That crisp, bright hotel chic white just doesn't show up as often, especially on more mature women. Why? Because cool white can be incredibly harsh. It tends to wash out natural undertones and emphasizes shadows on the face, especially under the eyes or around the mouth. Italian women prefer warmth, softness, and glow in their palette. So instead of that optical white blazer or stiff cotton blouse, they'll go for a warm ivory silk shirt or a vanilla-toned linen jacket. It's a subtle shift, but it changes everything: how your skin looks, how your jewelry pops, even how light reflects off your outfit in photos. If you're someone who's been loyal to classic white tees or shirts for decades, here's my gentle nudge. Try swapping them for cream, bone, or soft almond tones. Especially if you're letting your hair go gray or silver, warm whites will flatter your complexion in a way that icy white just doesn't. You'll look more radiant, less tired. It's such a simple switch, but Italian women have been doing it for years, and it works. If this video gave you that aha moment about color, then you'll definitely want to watch my next video, 7 color combinations that flatter women over 50 plus. It builds on everything we talked about here and goes even deeper into which color pairings bring out the best in your skin tone, hair color, and outfit structure. It's full of real-life examples and tricks Italian women use every day to stand out, quietly but powerfully. So don't miss it. I'll meet you over there.